Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quick and Carry Kitchen. I'm Kristen Madrine, and I want to welcome all of you who are joining us live. Hello, everyone, and I want to say a huge shout out to all of you who join us later. We know that because we go live at noon on Fridays, not everyone can be here live, but we sure do appreciate all of you who watch later. So today I have a great little recipe for you. I've made apple butter and I'm going to show you how to do it. The Instant Pot makes apple butter super easy. I'm one of those old-fashioned cooks who likes my apple butter in a roasting pan in the oven for 12 hours. So I was really interested to see, how does the Instant Pot do when you use the Instant Pot for apple butter? So we're going to get to that in a second. I want to give a big shout out to 3 of our watchers who won egg molds from our holiday show for Halloween a couple weeks ago. Roberta Gunby Manna, Angelia Caber, and Debbie Pittman all won egg molds. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. We're sending you your egg molds. And you, any of you, can win a set of our tongs today if you comment during the time that you watch on, is it snowing where you are? We woke up to white here in Traverse City, Michigan this morning. We're supposed to get somewhere between 4 and 7 inches, but so far we haven't gotten anywhere close to that. But it will be very interesting to have our first real snow of the season. Hi, Terry Banks. How are you? Cindy Redden, glad that you're here. Good morning, Diane Yoakum. How are you? So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for cooking either applesauce or apple butter in the Instant Pot. But today we've made beautiful apple butter. It's very tasty. And my job for you is to read all the recipes out there, make my best guess as to what are the good ones, try it, and then report back to you. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And I want to give a big shout out to Amy+Jacky because they have a wonderful website and they do a great job with all of their Instant Pot instructions. And other than the seasonings, I'm using their basic instructions. So shout out to their webpage for what they have done for applesauce and apple butter. Oh, hi, Jennifer Kershoff. How are you? Erica Manful, how are you? Now, let's talk about apples. There's a couple things that you should know. For applesauce or apple butter, you don't have to use the best ones. You can use the seconds, the bruised ones, or even some that are starting to get a little mealy. You do not want a super sweet apple, and you also do not want a super tart apple for either apple butter or applesauce. I have used Empire apples, and today's batch is going to have a few Cortlands. Those are both favorites of mine, so I wanted to try them in apple butter. I do think Cortland apples make the very best applesauce out there, and there's a lot of old ladies that agree with me on that one. Now, for both applesauce and apple butter, here is how you cut your apples. I'm going to cut down on your prep time. All you do is take a nice big apple and a good sharp knife, make 1 slice, 2, 3, and 4. I have the core to throw away and the big slices with the peels still on to go in the Instant Pot. Why is that? Because you want the fiber and all of the natural pectin in here, and that helps to thicken it. So this makes it super simple. Even kids can do those 4 cuts. And I'm filling my Instant Pot right up to the max line. It's about 5 pounds of your apples when you are done with that. Hi, Amy Main. How are you today? So I have in here about 5 pounds of sliced apples. And I do want to mention one other thing about apples. Most apples have been heavily pesticided, and so here's what I do to clean my apples. I fill my sink with hot water, and I spray in some vegetable cleaner, and I soak them in that and just sort of run my hands through them and wash them. Then I rinse them twice. If you don't have vegetable cleaner, you can use apple cider or white vinegar to help take some of the stuff off of the peelings and the skins of the apples. So that's just one little helpful tip about apples that I wanted to say to you. Now, I have my 5 pounds of apples in here. I'm going to take only a 1/4 cup of water and I'm going to pour it over. And the reason you need a 1/4 cup is because apples make so much water themselves after they come up to pressure. They've already let out so much of their own water and juice that you don't need a whole cup to start the recipe. And I am using a group of spices, and when you ask for our recipe, we'll be happy to send it to you as always. We love that so many of you are collecting all of our recipes. Thank you so much for that. In a lot of the recipes that you'll see online, they use cinnamon sticks during the pressure cooking phase. I found that it wasn't cinnamony enough for my liking. So in my apple butter, I'm using 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, just a scant 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And let's see, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and salt. Okay, that goes on your stuff. And then guess what I have? Remember how a few shows ago we made our own vanilla? We're using our own vanilla in our pot today. And you just want to put about a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla in there. And my mom is actually who taught me this about vanilla. If you have a batch of apple sauce, especially that's a little lackluster, not much flavor, put about a 1/2 teaspoon of good vanilla in it. It really brings out a brightness and it deepens the flavor of the apples, and it can really help if you have sort of a bland, tasteless applesauce. And in apple butter, it does lend a really lovely little taste. So we've got all of our stuff in the pot. And you're going to put your lid on. Make sure your sealing toggle is set to sealing. And then you're going to set high pressure, either manual or pressure cook, for only 5 minutes. And I really studied this because I wanted to know why. Usually when I make applesauce, I put it on 8 or 10 minutes. But in this recipe, what Amy and Jackie recommend is that you do 5 minutes pressure cooking and then leave for a 20-minute natural pressure release. And then by the end, the apples are at just the right consistency to then use your immersion blender. My favorite thing in the kitchen, other than my quick and carry tongs, is my immersion blender. I think if you have an Instant Pot, you should also have one of these. It just really, really helps. My friend Kathy Leathers says hi, and she's listening while she's driving. Hello, Robin and Miwataka. Did you have snow this morning, Robin? How much did you guys have? Hi, Karen Sizemore. How are you today? Janet Cadigan, hello, how are you? Laura from Minnesota, we're happy to see you. Kathy Wicker, my friend, yes, I know we have snow because I drove by your road this morning. We do have some very pretty white coming down. That's very nice. All right, so 5 minutes on your manual pressure cook, 20 minutes, take your lid off, use your immersion blender to make the apple butter into the butter, and you can leave it a little rough if you like yours rustic, or you can super blend yours if you like yours really smooth. And then you're going to do something really interesting with your Instant Pot. You're going to take the lid off and you're going to use the slow cooker button for 4 hours. And you can put a splatter guard over the top of it, which I do think is a really good idea. If you don't have one of these splatter guards, use a piece of tin foil and just lightly put it over the top. And for about 4 hours, you're going to cook this on slow cooker. And it will bubble up a little. It might splatter some, mine certainly did, but it will deepen the flavor. Now, if you're in a hurry, you can use saute on medium or low and do it for 30 minutes at a time for up to an hour. But I didn't think that that gave it a deep enough flavor, and so I did a full 8 hours on mine. I did the crock pot or the slow cooker setting for 4 hours twice. My house smelled so delicious. This is wonderful. And when it was done, I then took a funnel, and you want a funnel that's going to, here, I'm going to move these out of my way. You want a funnel that fits perfectly into one of these pint jars. So I have my grandma's old funnel, and I just took the hot butter and put it in here, and it looks really beautiful, doesn't it? I love the color. It's not quite as dark as if you had baked it like I'm used to for 8 or 10 or 12 hours, but it tastes exactly the same. So it is delicious. We did a taste test before we went live this morning, and everyone here really loved this taste. You will notice that my recipe is sugar-free. If you want to add some brown sugar or a little molasses to yours, that's also something that you can do. This is one of those excellent recipes that's super versatile. And once you've blended it and cooked it, if it doesn't taste the way you like it, you can change it before you jar it. So I think that that is super awesome. Hi, CM Miller. How are you today? Heather, how are you? I think it's wonderful if you make some. That is a great thing. Which slow cooking? Slow cook setting, less normal or more? Amy, that's a wonderful question. When I did it at home last night, at first I had it on slow cooker more, and it really was too much. Now, I've always thought my Instant Pot is a little on the hot side. My saute is super hot on this one, and so I never put it on saute hot. I backed it off and used slow cooker low setting for 8 hours, and it was perfect. I did it while I slept. If you are around the house and you're doing this on a Saturday and you can watch it and adjust it, I think the idea is to just cook it down. And so you can use your own pressure cooker the way you're used to using yours. Mine just cooks really hot, and I didn't want to burn it during the night. So thank you, Amy Main. That was a wonderful question. Hi, Gail Bell. How are you today? Where was I? What was I telling you? About canning. That's the other thing I want you to know. A pressure cooker of this kind, an electric pressure cooker, these basic Instant Pots, they are not canners. You cannot can using a pressure cooker. You can, however, have your jars in a water bath and your lids in a water bath and turn them over and put the hot liquid in and do it that way. Once they are sealed, you can put them in a canner and can them the old-fashioned way. But don't ever think that something that you make in an Instant Pot can be canned in an Instant Pot, because it cannot. It will ruin your food and it could make you sick. So we do want to always make sure you know not to ever can anything in your Instant Pot, but you can sure make the stuff that you want to can in one of your electric pressure cookers. We are doing this recipe today because these make wonderful gifts. So if you're going to someone's home for Thanksgiving, take your hostess a jar of Instant Pot apple butter as a hostess gift. If you're looking for something to make for other people for the holidays, our vanilla and a jar of our Instant Pot apple butter makes a lovely gift for someone for the holidays. Teachers, bus drivers, post people, friends, relatives, people at your church. This is a lovely way to make something sweet from your Instant Pot to give as a gift. So I think it's delicious. I was, again, very pleasantly surprised, because as an old-fashioned cook, I still think, no, I'm not sure the Instant Pot's going to make it like I like it. But this was delicious, and on toast, it's absolutely wonderful. Yes, Gail Bell, this is a great recipe for people with sugar concerns. I absolutely think it's sweet enough without adding any sugar. I don't add sugar to my applesauce or now to my apple butter. You could, your mileage may vary, but this is lovely. And it's especially a nice gift for somebody who is watching their sugar and you can't gift them a jam. You could gift them an apple butter. So Gail, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Heather is going to add molasses to hers. I think that would be delicious, and I would like to try it. Hi, Lori Stribling, how are you? I'm so glad all of you have joined us. All right, I'm going to just do a little quickie review. You want to do 5 pounds of apple butter, and remember, I'm going to just do one more apple. I'm going to show you how I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have those to put in the pot because I have just a little bit more room here. I've put in a 1/4 cup of water, all of my spices, which are on our recipe. You would not put the sugar in at this point. If you were to put it in, you're going to cook this manual or pressure cook for 5 minutes. Let it have a 20-minute natural pressure release. When you come back, there won't be any pressure left in your pot. Open up your pot. Use an immersion blender to blend it to the consistency that you want. Turn your pot off and then hit slow cooker. And I did my slow cooker setting for 2 rounds of 4 hours. So I did it most of the night at my house. I had apple butter cooking. When I woke up this morning, it was perfectly done. I was able to jar it, and it looks beautiful in a jar. And everyone here at Quick and Carry who had a little piece of toast with it this morning said it's absolutely delicious. So please say yes when we offer to send you a recipe. We're happy to send it to you. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, we want to know about it. Please share this recipe with those others that you know who are a little afraid of their Instant Pot. This is a super easy recipe that could get somebody started. Take it out of the box, everyone. An Instant Pot is safe, and it's so much fun to cook with. Now that I'm doing it with more and more things, I really enjoy Instant Pot cooking. It's so safe. And you know, if you watched us last week, you might have seen my sister and I, and it is interesting all the comments that we got, because so many people still, with all the information that's out there, people have misconceptions about the Instant Pot being unsafe, and it couldn't be further from the truth. The Instant Pot is perhaps one of the safest ways to cook, and it's so simple that even your kids could do it. This is another great recipe that kids could do, and it would give them a gift to give to their teachers that they actually had participated in. So let us know if you want the recipe. Come back next week. We're going to have a special pre-Thanksgiving show talking about sides for your big day in the Instant Pot. If you have any suggestions of something you'd like us to cook for Thanksgiving, please let us know. We do love to hear from all of you that watch our show. And as the patron saint of our Quick and Carry kitchen used to say, bon appetit.